This has to be a YN. Sport drink, code Ben Avery. Perennial sponsor of the show. Oh, I got a little shrimp in here. So good. And like I said, it goes great with sport drink. I like it ice cold. Nothing like it. Okay, so these adult babies are buying a town. Let's get into it.
The land extends from those trailers in that little road all the way over to the next gray trailer.
These people, for anybody who doesn't know, it's called ABDL. I think that's the name of it, right? Adult baby diaper lover. ABDL is the community. AB/DL, adult baby diaper lover. And they intersect, obviously. Apparently, like every group nowadays, they're trying to further isolate themselves from society. And hey, man, who's stopping them?
You heard
Go
that
ahead.
right. They've been quietly purchasing an old Nevada ghost town.
No, we want you living amongst us. No, be my neighbor. I'd love for you to move in. Actually, me and my wife were thinking you want to be our roommate? I could clear this room out. Come live with us. Come on. Seeing a big fat guy in a diaper and being like, hey, man, don't be this guy. Hey, man, don't be a stranger. What are you doing Friday? Come on, let's go out. What are you playing in your crib again? You're sucking binkies? Nah, man, come on, let's go have a beer. Come on.
Those trailers in that little road all the way over to the next gray trailer.
You heard that right. They've been quietly purchasing an old Nevada ghost town and turning it into a full-scale adult baby paradise.
We could shape this place into something absolutely amazing and absolutely unique to any other ABDL place in the world.
Look at how big this baby is in the bouncer. Meanwhile, we got a kiddo in a cage here.
And you imagine, when they were testing the nukes in Los Alamos, those first tests, that you picture the, those vintage videos of the fridges and the houses blowing away. Now imagine that there was an ADBL people, but in their little cages they put themselves in. This isn't a baby thing, by the way. No one's ever put a baby in a cage like this. This makes no sense. That's just you're a pedophile. And if I was in the, ABDL community, I would say, let's not do cages. It's a very, very different thing. And a slippery slope.
This baby is in the bouncer. Meanwhile, we got a kiddo in a cage here.
And they're not just renovating a few old houses. They're building the whole thing from scratch, including obtaining a working fire truck.
The local fire chief told me I could use the ladders and hoses and fill up within reason.
They call themselves baby furs, a niche subsect of the larger furry fandom. But as these diaper-clad newcomers have flooded this deeply conservative desert town...
It's furry adjacent as well. Adult baby furs. So these guys are also furries here. Goldfield, Nevada. I wouldn't even pass through a town like this. The idea that I'd break down here, they need to ask for gas from one of these people. Knocking on the door. Hey, buddy, how's it going? Day's going good. Could be better. I'm totally pretending you're not wearing a diaper right now. Listen, do you have a gas can? Now, we broke down the way. I'm pretending I'm not seeing an adult man in a diaper in a cage behind you in the living room. Well, look, I'm in a desperate situation right now, so I'll pretend whatever you are is normal. Now, could you spare a gallon or two of gas, my friend?
of like what was originally called the furry baby people. People were really off-put about it, and people like really concerned over the.
I am realizing now, really bummed out that these are all whites. We need to start accepting the degeneration of like white losers. A white loser, you know, like a 40-year-old virgin type of guy. They used to be a special guy with a hyper-focused set of skills that was very useful in terms of information, and that person would enrich your life. That's generation later now. Those guys, you know, they're not walking around Circuit City. They're not selling you home theater systems. They're not at the water cooler giving you some secret sort of weird information about some baseball player rookie from 1953. They're not giving you any of that anymore. They're putting on diapers. They're pissing and shitting themselves and pretending to be puppy dogs in Goldfield, Nevada. They're playing in cribs, sucking on binkies. I don't know what happened. You know, the fact that our white losers in the early to mid 2000s, white losers were still killing it. They were buying homes. They had mortgages. They had great jobs. They were helpful. They were often IT people. What happened to our great white losers? There are some great white losers out there. There were great rich losers of sad whites that I thought made the world a better place, and it's all gone now. It's all done. You're looking at the end of it. You're looking at what I would describe as the end of all things. You're looking at the very beginning of a disturbed and satanic world where people have their wiring crossed, there's no meaning in their suffering, and they only wake up with the thought of getting in a cage or drinking pee-pee or God knows what else. I mean, to live your whole life just being like, I want to be a baby, you know, instead of thinking about, remember what happened to Stump the Schwab? That was like they used to make TV shows about white losers, movies about white losers. That's done. No one's going to make a movie about this guy, a big fat guy who sucks binkies and drinks pee-pee. Nah, man. It's over.
Baby people. People were really off-put about it, and people like really concerned. Over the years, it's sort of a thing of they can do whatever they want. They're not hurting anyone.
The baby furs started becoming a...
They're hurting my eyes and my brain, and they hurt my heart and my soul. If you think this guy isn't hurting anybody, first of all, you haven't checked his hard drives. That's first thing. Second thing is he's hurting me. These people shouldn't be allowed the internet. They shouldn't be allowed phones. They shouldn't be allowed to contact people until they sort of, get it together.
Vital part of the community.
We are the
I'm sorry, but this adult baby like Peter Griffin bullshit. I'm not going to pretend that we're going to coexist with these people.
Hurting anyone?
The baby furs started becoming a vital part of the community.
We are the
when it comes to these guys, I'm the complete opposite of a liberal. I'm not coexisting with any. I refuse to act like it's normal. I'm not coexisting. Get the fuck away from me. Get away from me. Get far away from me.
Tourist.
There's nothing innocent about it. It's absolutely sick. It shouldn't be encouraged in any way. Get the hell away from me.
Revenue source in the county. They were very friendly and very...
Go back to being a normal white loser. We need, you know what, man? We need to bring back... We need places like Circuit City again. We really need it. We need Americans to have the ability to own homes again. Because if you own a home, you can create things in it, have hobbies, have rooms. These people used to have rooms with like certain trading cards in them or like pinball machines that they would take apart and put together again, or a whole room of just like Star Wars memorabilia. Old school, traditional white loser shit. Every guy now, the guy in Prisoners where Jake Gyllenhaal knocks on his door and finds out he's keeping a bunch of like snakes in a tub? Every day I scroll on the internet and I find guys like that. Just weird weird guys obsessed with symbols that have a bunch of snakes in their house, and there's still people that are like, hey man, it's not hurting anybody. I'm like, it's hurting, but it's hurting them. Like, what about the self? What about the individual? Does that not hurt them at all? I don't get what that means. I don't get it. I don't get it, man.
Excited and they want to try to get
This is, you should probably never disown your children unless this is them. If this is them, there is a certain line they cross. You go, I have disowned you. And, good luck on your journey on this earth. It's very cosmic. You being my child and having known you, and I am your father, and I am connected to something on a deep, deep level that neither you or I will understand. We're not going to resolve this. I hate knowing you. I would be happier living the rest of my life without speaking to you, and having died, having not spoken to you. So I say to you, good day. And then you walk away from that, man. You take the L. Your son drinks pee-pee, puts on diapers, thinks he's a puppy dog. You take the L. You tried your best. You try to play a detective through your son's life to see if, the priest molested him or if something happened. You probably, like anything else, there's no answers, there's no closure. You come up empty-handed. You don't know what you did wrong. Maybe you can start again with another lady that has eggs still. There's always a chance for a new beginning, That's the most you can hope for in this situation. You go, I hope you die. I never want to speak to you again. You're an embarrassment. I'm gonna go never speak to you again. But have a nice life, son. Have a nice life. You're both Peter and Stewie Griffin at the same time. You're both Peter and Stewie. So I'm gonna check out now.
like some state funding.
But paradise often comes with controversy. Even within the furry community, baby furs face harsh judgment.
There is this belief that baby furs equals pedophilia. It has no connection at all. Your average baby fur, they probably hate pedophiles.
Let's get the FBI on the phone real quick and see. Let's see what the data shows.
Pedophiles more than most people.
We've been here.
He actually goes the other way. That's when you know someone is smoking the copium. They go, actually, furries hate pedophilia more than people who aren't furries.
This belief that baby fur.
The idea that furries are like the Hells Angels riding around, stopping child abuse and stuff. Is so funny.
Pedophilia. It has no connection at all. Your average baby fur, they probably hate pedophiles more than most people.
Imagine this guy. This guy's going to talk to you.
Your average.
You walk in this guy's room, and he's like, actually, he's a fat blue fox. He's like, actually, I hate pedophiles. Probably more than you do. You might be a little neutral on pedophiles, not me. I hate it way more than you. Anyway, don't log into my computer. What are you doing? I'm not giving you my passwords. Get away from there. What are you doing?
Baby fur, they probably hate pedophiles more than most people.
We've been here a while, and we're not gonna stop.
So we went undercover to explore this secretive fandom and found that many baby furs aren't just hobbyists.
And sort of a commonality I've noticed with baby furs is there's a lot of people that are in kind of senior leadership positions.
And what we discovered next, well, you just might not even believe.
What about Elon?
What about Elon?
People say he's an ABDL.
Really?
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
So Gizmodo, Elon Musk confirms he's been role-playing as a toddler for years.
He was in some sort of like secret group chat where it got leaked that he was like being babied by someone.
I hope this documentary ends up with them saying that that they built a wall around this town. The gate is locked and the key is thrown into the bottom of the ocean. The only key that can open the gate to this community is at the bottom of the Marianas Trench. It's still floating to the bottom of that dark, deep abyss. That's what I hope for you. I actually don't find the adult baby diaper lover community, I don't find it that funny because it pisses me off. It's just a little too, the Pamper Chew stuff, man, it can really piss you off sometimes if it catches you the wrong way. Right now, it's pissing me off a little bit, but we're going to keep watching.
So the first thing
I'm going to calm down. We're going to move forward, but I'm not going to let it trigger me. They don't have control over me and my life. How I feel, they don't have control over my day. I'm not going to let them determine my actions. I'm not going to let them determine my mood. They have no control over me. It's just a screen with pixels on it. It's just sounds. These people are retarded. Stay in the pocket. Here we go.
I would emphasize is that it's a consensual activity with 18 plus. It gets all adults.
It's those fucking glasses too, man. That little fucking like Australian cowboy hat. Oh, and it being so tight. Like he's out doing physical labor and it's going to fall off his head like some sort of ranch hand. Like he's in the proposition or something. He's in some sort of Australian Civil War. Fuck you. Oh, fuck you.
Actual children. And it's a...
Why is he always talking about children?
I would emphasize is that it's a consensual activity with 18 plus. It gets all adults. It's not actual children. And it's adults that often maybe didn't have the best child.
So funny to clarify that. First of all, we hate pedophiles. And second thing, no one here is actually a child, which is always the second question that's asked. It's weird. People would think there would be, though. I mean, just looking at me. As you can see, I'm an adult. Do you see the adult beverages behind me? Do you see the cocktails? Would a child have a bottle of Lefroy behind them? A 10-year bottle of scotch, would they have that behind them? I don't think so. Would a child be able to understand the complexity of Bullet bourbon or Maker's Mark or anything? I didn't think so. As you can see, there's Aperol to my right. That is an aperitif. A child wouldn't be able to appreciate an Italian spritzer or anything like that. Such a decadent thing. So how could I? Why would you think? I mean, look at me. Why on earth would you think that I fuck kids? Seriously, why on earth would you think that? No, can you hand me that diaper? I just wet myself. I need to go for a change. But when I come, I have to go change myself. But when I come back, I want you to think long and hard about why you think I might fuck kids.
A consensual activity with 18 plus. It gets all adults. It's not actual children. And it's adults that often maybe didn't have the best childhood or maybe just want to go back to their favorite time in life. They want to get away from all the stress and worry and they just want to be a little kid again. So I'm a purple and green husky. I'm kind of cute and bouncy and full of life. Kind of a kid at heart.
Well, a baby fur is a furry who enjoys ABDL. Adult baby diaper lover. Basically a kink fetish community that enjoys dressing up either in little gear, so like onesies or in diapers, or some people like myself, I'm more of a diaper lover. I just like being in diapers and just day drinking and having fun.
But for us, we are quite literally just in our own space, existing, living our most authentic lives.
Does your family or friends know about like all the who you are?
Quite a bit. I don't think my dad, we've ever specifically talked about baby fur, but he's been over to my house and he's seen the giant high chair and the ball pit. So I think he can kind of put 2 and 2 together. So this is Zesty Cheese Ranch. It's in Goldfield, Nevada, which is a small ghost town right in between Las Vegas and Reno. We've built out Zesty Cheese Ranch, this kind of interesting little baby fur campsite where we all get together as friends and kind of do a summer camp activity. A school bus. This is the fire truck. The local fire chief told me I could use the ladders and hoses and fill up within reason.
What's within reason?
I'm not sure. So why don't we walk, let's try walking around this outside, and then you can see the original trailer.
Dude, the pink overalls, I have to watch Die Hard or something, the podcast, not the movie. I got to watch Die Hard or something after this. I know my wife said I'm forbidden, but I need to calm down, man. Die Hard makes me zen, focuses me. I'm endlessly fascinated by Jeff Dye. This stuff is too much to stomach, man. I feel I must set down my sword. It must be too dull. These days, I've seen too many battles, too many wars. Perhaps I'm getting too old for this shit. I'm not sure, but it's making me absolutely sick. Damn this man, may he burn in hell. Damn him to hell. Damn this entire community to hell. Damn them. Damn them all. Damn them all. Okay, I'm gonna try it too. I don't want to get mad. I don't want them to have control over me. They don't have a say in how I feel, how I react, how I feel about myself, or how I feel about the world. I'm not going to get angry anymore. Here we go.
They're bringing a crib. They're setting up. So this is the original trailer that came with the property when I bought it. It was just this single little trailer and a whole bunch of dirt. And since then, I've bought all the land. So now the land extends from those trailers in that little road all the way over to the next gray trailer.
This is bought like slowly throughout the years.
Yeah, over the last 4 years.
Over the last 4 years.
Yeah, so it started with this little hill. A person in town came and sold me the land for a couple $1,000s and said they thought I should have it so we could build a pirate ship on the top of the hill.
A pirate ship?
Yeah, that's one of the building projects. So I've been buying up lots kind of slowly over the years. They keep coming up.
How does he have money? It's got to be CP related, man. There's no telling how this guy, his parents are both alive. We know that because his dad apparently goes over to his house somewhat frequently and has to eat dinner between a big high chair and a big giant diaper he has in the living room. As he's finishing up dinner, his son turns to him and goes, "Father, would you like to play in the ball pit with me?" "No, that's okay, son. I'll just keep picturing your head exploding." "That's okay, son. I'm going to finish my dinner and picture myself killing you and then myself, if that's okay." Nice, this white wine. Where did you get it? The grocery store. Very nice, son. Very nice. I just want to say, son, thank you for having some respect for me and not eating in the big high chair that could support the weight of what I assume is a 450-pound man. Is that how much? You weigh 455 pounds. Okay. That's what I thought. I clocked you at about 450 pounds. With a full diaper, you're up to 470 pounds. Yeah, I could have assumed that, son. Wait, if there's shit in your ass, if there's shit in your body and then you shit in your diaper, how do you weigh more when you fill your diaper up? You're saying if you're naked and you take the diaper off. I got it. Makes sense. Because the shit's already inside of you, so you can't weigh more by shitting. You can't create matter from matter, so. Yeah, okay. Very interesting, son. No, go have fun in the ball pit. I'll picture, I'm just going to sit here and picture you dying in horrific, violent ways.
For auction. And the interesting thing is, I think all the people in town sort of know me. No one ever bids against me at the auction. I always get these things for minimum bid. So I think I have, I want to say maybe 20-ish lots.
I only heard really ramblings of, oh, this guy is building this place in this remote little area in Nevada. Now seeing it in person, it's kind of mind-blowing. Just with the scenery, the weather, the people here, the sort of thing he's trying to shape is really, really, really interesting, because it's just so different from really anything else you could do. Especially in a place like this, you really have no real boundaries.
I don't even remember how long they've been here. I think it just sort of, they were here one year and I was just like, okay, this is a thing now. I'm the 4th generation to stand behind that grill. Goldfield's always just been odd, you know? There's a very big area of like purity culture and this and that. So people, like, whenever they heard of like the what was originally called the furry baby people.
So this guy has to accept the community because they're the only customers. They're big fat guys. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Business is business. I mean, when you're in the desert, you can't be picky. Whatever creature comes out of the hill to grab a bite, you take what you can get. I'm picturing the guy from Twin Peaks: The Return. You got a light? It's either that guy or the Peter Griffin baby. Those are the two choices.
People were really off-put about it.
Those two guys are sitting next to each other at this diner.
Over the years, it's sort of a thing of they can do whatever they want. They're not hurting anyone.
One of the townspeople called me up for Christmas and said, Nacho, I got a Christmas gift for you. I got you a school bus.
It's a gift.
Yeah.
We have a permanent residential population of a little over 200, like 205 or 6. But the average age of people around here is around late 60s, early 70s, and that's average age, you know. Like, you take anyone off the street, you're gonna find a couple of 80-year-olds. I didn't even know they were buying up properties until you guys came in and told me.
Do the baby first tip well?
They do. They do.
But Zesty Cheese Ranch and this camper
They got money.
experience they refer to as Camp Crinkle
I think they're
seems
running
to not only
I
bring
think this
people
is some Mark
to
DeTrue shit. I think they're running a weird ring of stuff stuff that Dave McGowan would walk away from. Russ Cole would retire if he started investigating what these guys are getting into. Couldn't handle it.
Goldfield, but bring people to a more comfortable version of themselves.
Human Lucas is more reserved, conservative.
So here's my thing with these people. I don't think they should ever feel comfortable. In fact, I think they should feel uncomfortable. These people should have to move to the remote tundra of like northern Russia. I want them to live in a biome that's called like the taiga or something. I want them places that are mostly uninhabitable with like no vegetation or sunlight. Those are where we go, you can do it, but here's where you got to do it. You got to do it where there's no food, there's no water, there's no resources. It's rainy, windy, cold winter. Good luck. That's it. Occasionally a weed or a dandelion will sprout out of the ground and you can eat that.
One of the cool parts.
Maybe you'll catch a bug. Maybe a bug will land on your fur and you can eat that. That's about it.
Nobody really knows anyone's legal names.
Oh, really?
Well, because we all go by our Sona names, so it's more of a, oh, that's, Lucas, so that's, so-and-so. And then you kind of have to think, oh, wait, what's their actual name?
Oftentimes someone will play caretaker.
So that's what criminals do. They don't want to know each other's names. Remember Reservoir Dogs? You're Mr. Pink. You're Mr. Brown. You're Mr. Big Diaper. You're Mr. Poo Poo. You're Mrs. Pee Pee. You're Mr. Kibble Piss. Why does he get to be Mr. Kibble Piss? You're the pedophile. You're Mr. CP.
We'll kind of play the adult. So whether they're like a camp counselor, a parent, an uncle, they'll kind of help hold that space. They'll be getting you snacks. They'll be getting you your sippy cup. They'll be making sure you're happy and cared for, just like a little kid growing up. The event we do here, a lot of the sort of caretakers will play like camp counselors. We'll do an afternoon of role play. Most of the time people are just kind of hanging out, drinking, interacting with friends, but we will do an activity in the afternoon where we'll do a role play where it's like, imagine going back in time to summer camp. There's nap time, and we're going to go for a little hike, and everyone's going to hold the little leash, or water balloon fight.
Is the diaper symbolic, or do you actually use the diaper?
It's going to vary between people. Some people use it. There's actually a lot in our community that have legitimate medical needs, and so getting to sort of role play and kind of have fun with that is a healthy outlet.
Yeah, sometimes it takes too long to soak your diaper, especially out here in the desert heat. You generally sweat out a lot of that liquid, so some people will just pour water and whatnot into their diaper just to puff it back up.
So it's important that it's soaked.
It helps for some people. Others, they just like the aesthetic, or they just like the feel of it, of a dry diaper.
Right.
Some people like it like a little moist to keep, to not dry out down there.
Right.
I've seen that term, stay soggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of a halfway joke kind of thing.
Yeah. I heard about like oatmeal too.
Most people don't like to poof their diaper.
Right.
Because a clamp
too messy.
Yeah, a clamp is a pain in the ass. Literally.
The swing set was another camper who randomly texted me and said, "Can I build a swing set?" And I said, "Sure." And I came to the property one day, and there was a swing set, and if you notice, there's an adult version of the baby harness.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I like that your feet can't touch the ground. That's very childlike wonder. Has anyone ever done a full loop?
Get you all in there.
You're watching Breaking Stories. Look at this. Okay, I'm starting to get this. Yeah. Camp Crinkle.
It was an IKEA chair that he reinforced, made it so it could hold several hundred pounds.
Those chains must snap all the time. Several hundred? Let's up that a little bit.
This is what it's all about.
Let's up
So
that.
this was sort of an impulse buy. I came out here, and there was a little trailer and this piece of land for sale, and it was $14,000. But I ended up meeting a whole bunch of people in the town that had all these skills, all these handymen, like electricians, and they knew how to do plumbing, and they knew how to, and you could hire them to help you for, at least compared to San Francisco, much more reasonable rates. As I found out from the Joint Task Force of Esmeralda and Nye County, we are the #2 tourist revenue source in the county. They were very friendly and very excited, and they wanted to try to get me some state funding, which I did decline because we don't need
They're
funding.
trying to get state funding for Camp Crinkle.
Yeah, that's what they had offered.
Why did you turn it down?
I figured, I don't want Vice News or TMZ showing up with, state of Nevada sponsors weird baby town in middle of desert. Yeah, so just about every year I have a friend who will end up buying land in town. And sort of my crazy dream is to, continue to build the town and have this basically baby fur community. Because a bunch of us work remotely.
You're the mayor.
No, I do not want to be the mayor.
You're the mayor of Babytown, Nevada.
Everyone's, of course, super welcoming, accepting, and then, just, zero.
I would love to be the one guy in this community where, I'm into all. I would still be super hateful, super get off my lawn type guy. There's got to be one guy who's like a baby fur type guy, but is also a Gran Torino type. Gran Torino on his porch with a rifle, rocking back and forth, but he's wearing a big diaper. Saying, just being racist. Gran Torino, but he's an ABDL guy would be so funny. Fuck. That would roll.
Judgment or worry, you come here to kind of forget about, adult worries and, stresses in life, so...
So Camp Crinkle was sort of like the sound the diapers make, kind of a crinkling sound as people walk.
That's what you meant, crinkling around.
So it was sort of a baby fur joke. People don't want to go across the room and be like, "Oh, you're in a diaper," right? They don't want to embarrass someone. Yeah. So what they might say is, "Oh, are you crinkly?" because the
can't
plastic
do it
makes
anymore,
sort of
man.
a crinkling sound as
My eyes
you
are
walk.
starting to hurt too.
So it's sort of
Shit.
so the idea of Camp Crinkle is sort of this
shit.
camp where everyone is crinkly, everyone's wearing diapers.
Fucking bullshit.
Last week, Twitter was a buzz, or
Fucking
maybe I should say a crinkle, with people coming out as baby furs and
Fuck
diaper
off.
furs.
November's been a pretty busy month in terms of baby fur drama.
I know that some people have, like, a disgust for baby furs, which is honestly kind of sad because baby furs are a sub-fandom of the furry fandom. We're all furries.
Its fetish content is allowed on the home page of Twitch. It's not a coping
It
mechanism.
just cuts to me saying they should burn in hell. I hope they burn
It's
in
not this
hell.
old cute thing. It is a fetish.
I know what you're thinking. That sounds a little unusual. But hey, furries don't exactly win the most normal hobby award either. The truth is, it's a community that arguably is even more misunderstood than furries.
But there is sort of like that stigma within the furry community, right? Especially because they find, diapers are weird. It's a little odd. But I think there's when you're in a community that is you already feel like you're an outsider and you're getting sort of picked on, then for some reason one of the responses they'll have is that they'll pick on the outsiders within the outsider community, because they'll be like, well, I'm weird, but at least I'm not that weird. I'm gay, but at least I'm not one of those furry gays. Yeah. And I get from the outside there is a consent thing. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it gets misunderstood where people assume that because you're role playing as a younger character that you want to hang out with younger, with children, which it's not. It's all consenting adults that it's people who want to be the children. Right. They want to be cared for. They want to be looked after.
Been a furry for about almost 10 years now. I started out as a brony, but that kind of morphed into being a full-on furry. There is this belief that baby furs equals pedophilia.
The Goyam man. They really won, dude. Look at them. Look at them. White losers, man. This is what white losers is now. Dressing up like a puppy dog, wearing a big diaper, and talking and trying to convince people you don't want to fuck kids. Yet you live in the middle of nowhere, so you can piss it and shit yourself in a diaper in peace. In your own little commune of people that want to be locked in cages with big diapers that I guess they pour water down their diaper to keep it, what did they call it? Fluffy? They like having a fluffy diaper?
It has no connection at all. If you're in your average baby fur, 1, not a pedophile. 2, they probably hate pedophiles more than most people.
So here's a good rule in life I've always found. It's 100% accurate. If someone has to say, I'm not a pedophile, you can almost be guaranteed, and it's a weird how this works, how accurate it is, but you can be guaranteed that guy has a series of passcodes on his phone that that someone in the highest level of clearance and intelligence, they couldn't even crack it. They have things in you would, if you had a metal detector in their backyard, you would stumble upon things that even if you reported to the police, they would hang up. They would pretend they didn't even get the call. Like the cop in the town, when he sees them get in the car and then he looks the other way. You could call cops, FBI, they would all just hang up and pretend they didn't hear what they just heard.
Believe the whole thing of your favorite fursuiters wear diapers is very true.
Is that a thing that people say?
Yes, I've heard it said a lot, especially on like Twitter.
I try not to focus on people who are like trying to be negative, but I mean, if you're not into...
Yeah, I just realized, is he standing on a big child's rocking horse?
Something, just don't participate. It's not hard.
Part of it too is I'm like, are you not bored of cosplay? Like, are you not bored of like playing with rattles and stuff? Because babies, like my 9-month-old son, he could play with a rattle for 30 minutes. He's so into like little rattles and blocks, you know? Like as an adult, is that intellectually stimulating enough that you could go play with, like, you know, putting the little triangle through the triangle hole and the square through the square hole? That little, you know, peg box game with the shapes? Could you genuinely do that all day long? Like a baby, the way babies play. Could you do that? I'm not really, there's something very performative about all this where I'm like, I don't even think you like wearing the diaper. I think you just want to be a pedophile so bad that you're imagining yourself as a kid that you are molesting. I think you're such a crazy pedophile that you want to molest your own life in the perception of yourself. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. I think I'm onto something here.
But as we mentioned earlier, many baby furs are low-key ballin' and hold lucrative jobs in tech and cybersecurity.
This is the penthouse suite. Cher was here last night, and last week Kamala Harris stayed here. Bill Clinton's been here.
Of course she
Very famous
did.
penthouse. Almost every president has stayed there, like Bill Clinton. They filmed The Rock with Sean Connery, where he gets pushed off the balcony.
Oh, hell yeah.
Have you seen that scene where he's getting his hair cut? And he throws the guy off the balcony.
Hell
So
yeah.
that's that suite. And they signed the UN into existence on the desk in the suite.
Perfect.
UN was formed.
Yeah. So I got to be in my.
So since I am one of the stars of the Goyam MK Ultra project, that has been implemented by the intelligence apparatus and the greater project of Israel. They're letting me stay in this suite, saying I am one of the top brain damage goys.
My baby fur attire and my little kid outfit as I
They
stayed
said I am doing great work in recruiting future mass shooters and domestic terrorists, and I am helping cut down the pillars of Western civilization faster than anybody they've seen in this space. They said, why don't you come down and stay in the suite?
And so the next morning, I'm like running around with my plushies and my short alls. How
much is for a night?
I think it's around $50,000 a night. And sort of a commonality I've noticed with baby furs is there's a lot of people that are in kind of senior leadership positions. In my case, I own a small business, so it's a lot of stress.
Of course you do.
It's like the bullet holes on the router.
You should be debanked.
I shot.
Should be genuinely. You should be
debanked. My
debanked.
day job.
People
and I think
shouldn't.
sort of one of the commonalities.
People shouldn't sell you cars.
Just sort of wanting to relive
shouldn't be able to
their
have a credit
childhood.
card. Nothing.
So in my case, I really kind of grew up
Healthcare.
really rather fast. Didn't have necessarily the most supportive parents. So baby fur was sort of the chance to get to like relive childhood, get to go to the summer camp I never got to as a kid. And the fire truck was from the county auction. It's a fully working fire truck that was $2,400. It's full of, diapers and fireworks.
Fucking kill yourself. Holy fuck.
Yeah, so you can see the
Jesus fuck.
some kind of tykables.
Jesus Christ,
Is that My Little Pony? This is like Timu, My Little Pony.
For me, it's more the sensation. I put one on, and it's just kind of something.
How many
clicked
of
in
these
that- in
guys
the
are
lizard
just
brain
CIA,
that I went,
you know?
Oh, this is nice.
I've been wearing 24/7 for about like 2.5.
Because like every movement gets co-opted. It's like how many of these guys? How many of these guys are federal agents, and they have to put on the diaper, and they have to learn about being soggy and all that, and play with rattles. They're like, why couldn't I have got Nazi? Why couldn't I have got like Groiper or something like that? Why can't I have just got to be that guy who goes on like Omegle and chat roulette and hails Hitler and says the N-word? That would have been so much more fun. Great, I got to jack off on this pizza at this furry party so I don't blow my cover. Join the CIA, they said. It'll be fun. You'll be like a special agent. Here I am coming on a pizza at a furry party. In the middle
Of course she did. Very famous penthouse. Almost every president has stayed there, like Bill Clinton. They filmed The Rock with Sean Connery, where he gets pushed off the balcony.
Oh, hell yeah.
You've seen that scene where he's getting his hair cut, and he throws the guy off the balcony. So that's that suite. And they signed the UN into existence on the desk in the suite.
Perfect. UN was formed.
Yeah. So I got to be in my...
So since I am one of the stars of the Goyam MK Ultra project, that has been implemented by the intelligence apparatus and the greater project of Israel. They're letting me stay in this suite, saying I am one of the top brain damaged goys.
My baby fur attire and my little kid outfit as I stayed.
They said I am doing great work in recruiting future mass shooters and domestic terrorists, and I am helping cut down the pillars of Western civilization faster than anybody they've seen in this space. They said, why don't you come down and stay in the suite?
And so the next morning, I'm like running around with my plushies and my short alls. How
much is for a night?
I think it's around $50,000 a night. And sort of a commonality I've noticed with baby furs is there's a lot of people that are in kind of senior leadership positions. In my case, I own a small business, so it's a lot of stress.
Of course you do.
It's like the bullet holes on the router.
You should be debanked.
I shot.
You should be genuinely. You should be debanked.
My day job.
People shouldn't.
Sort of one of the commonalities.
People shouldn't sell you cars.
Just sort of wanting to relive
shouldn't be able to have a
childhood.
credit card. Nothing.
So in my case, I really kind of grew up really rather fast. Didn't have necessarily the most supportive parents. So baby fur was sort of the chance to get to like relive childhood, get to go to the summer camp I never got to as a kid. And the fire truck was from the county auction. It's a fully working fire truck. It was $2,400. It's full of, diapers and fireworks.
Fucking kill yourself. Holy fuck.
Yeah, so you can see the...
Jesus fuck.
Some kind of tykables.
Jesus Christ,
Is that My Little Pony? This is like Timu My Little Pony.
For me, it's more the sensation. I put one on, and it's just kind of something.
How many of these guys are just CIA?
Oh, this is nice.
I've been wearing 24/7 for about like 2.5.
Because like every movement gets co-opted. It's like how many of these guys? How many of these guys are federal agents, and they have to put on the diaper, and they have to learn about being soggy and all that, and play with rattles. They're like, why couldn't I have got Nazi? Why couldn't I have got like Groiper or something like that? Why can't I have just got to be that guy who goes on like Omegle and chat roulette and hails Hitler and says the N-word? That would have been so much more fun. Great, I got to jack off on this pizza at this furry party so I don't blow my cover. Join the CIA, they said. It'll be fun. You'll be like a special agent. Here I am coming on a pizza at a furry party in the middle of the desert. Great.
3 years.
You're doing this 24/7.
Can't even torture people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a baby here and I'm a baby at home.
Gotcha.
But, I mean, some people, I guess, just like...
I'd rather be a Guantanamo Bay prisoner. I'd rather be tortured with electrical signals and hooked up to car batteries and everything. I'd much rather be at Guantanamo Bay than this shithole.
Do it for a temporary period. I
would go to jail. If I had to live here for a month, I'd go to jail. I'd start flipping on people. I'd start hurting people badly. Very badly. I do very bad things.
Being a
especially in the middle
baby.
of nowhere like
maybe
this.
2 years ago, like a case of 80 diapers was maybe like, I think it was like $260, like sometimes $260 to $280, and then now it's like I'm definitely paying over like $300 a month.
My preferred brand is from a company called Pretend Again. They're called they're called Try Again diapers. They're a bit cool because they're just they're cloth back. They're a bit lighter, a bit more airy, and they're a bit lighter, but they can still have a lot larger capacity too.
Who are you wearing?
So right now, this is a cloth back Cushies by ABU, medium size, a little bit big for me. I usually wear smalls.
How many would you say you go through in like a weekend like this?
Are they like condoms where there is space for, like, if you have a bigger, Because could this house like any cock? You know, it's such a weird thing because it's diapers specifically made for adults who don't need them. So I'm wondering if it's like Trojans where you get the XLs or the Magnums or whatever.
I'd say probably 10 if we're going high. Probably 10, just in case of more accents throughout the day or stuff like this or whatever.
I mean, I love
10
playing with
diapers
dinos.
a
I mean, I
day.
love just basically any
10
like,
diapers a day.
You know, baby, toddler toys.
You can vote.
I love Dublos.
Not that voting
I love
matters
coloring,
or
I
is
love
real,
making
but
Play-Doh animals. Growing
saying
up,
baseline
I
is
was,
the
I had
same.
a lot of like, I guess I got
Same
a lot
rights.
of little desires, you know, and like, again, it's.
You just see stuff like this, man, and you go, you know what? Work camps would be good. We need a nice work camp going. Fine by me, man.
I used to think I was the only one weird enough, and then once I started meeting people, you know, it was just, you know, it felt like it was okay to start embracing it instead of like trying to suppress it and be normal or whatever normal is. But you know,
We've been here a while, and we're not gonna stop. Yes, you can make it an entire lifestyle, which a lot of us here do. It's just part of us. I would say don't knock it until you try it. You know, diapers are really cheap. It's like you could get one for like $6. Try it out yourself. You might like it.
I can't help but admit that I was uncomfortable in Babytown.
I've never heard that story of like a guy who's like, you know what, fuck it. I have no interest in wearing diapers, but what do I know? I went to the store, I bought one. 5 years later, here I am. I live in Babytown. Turns out I'm a pedophile. I didn't even know. I was hiding that from myself. The way the brain can trick itself with trauma and everything, I put on this diaper. It finally said, I'm home. I stared at myself in the mirror with my diaper as it was growing larger and larger in size as I was shitting and pissing myself, and I thought, I'm finally home. Finally, exactly who I should be.
I come back
a
to
pedophile.
this question that you and I have asked each other a lot during making this of like, what is weird?
What is weird? Like, I will argue, and you can totally disagree, they kind of share the same stigma that trans people or gay people once shared.
No, they
like,
don't.
Of course, those three groups are very, very different, right? But the stigma they had on them are very similar. Like, think about it. Like, in the 90s, how common it is to make fun of trans people on mainstream media.
Ace Ventura.
Like,
no, we're not doing that.
Great movie.
We're not doing that.
Very transphobic. Because I remember when I was
a guy that's like, hi, can I make your coffee? What would you like today here? It's like a guy with like a lisp with a nose ring making my coffee. That is not. This is the problem with, you know, people thinking that like in their head, history goes back pretty much to slavery to now. And that's their full spectrum and kind of apparatus of understanding how the world works. This is a major, major problem for people and for understanding anything at all. Saying that a civil rights activist for gay, like a guy like Matthew Shepard, going to Matthew Shepard's parents and saying, hey, man, the way your son was treated when he was lynched for being gay and strung up to that fence and everything, it's sad, but what if I told you today that some people face persecution like that, just like your son, not 30 years later, and it's because they dress up like wolves and piss and shit themselves and are pedophiles? What if I told you they're treated the exact same way? What do you mean they're nothing like your son? Don't you want to fight on their behalf too? Think of the legacy of your son. What do you mean it has nothing to do with being gay? What do you mean being a pedophile wearing a diaper has nothing to do with being a gay guy who got hate crimed? This is same as this is Brokeback Mountain. This is Harvey Milk. Look at these people. They're howling at the moon. They're jacking off. They're shitting in a kiddie pool. This is called. You say it's called being a pedophile. I call it being a gay guy. They should rename it Babytown to Gay Guy Town. I think. Same shit.
when I was 15 in China, almost 20 years ago. It's weird to not be homophobic. I was a big fan of Queen. At the time, you know, I didn't have a computer, so I didn't even know anything.
Again, to be like, to bring in Freddie Mercury into the conversation, we've lost the narrative, man. The narrative. These people that are overeducated, like this Chloe Zhao lady who had to read, 3,000 books in her academic studies about nonsense and horseshit. Like every field is just. To talk about Freddie Mercury, to talk about the musical genius and performer and lead man for Queen, which culturally made such a big impact on the entire world and music and being a rock star, one of the most talented guys ever. Comparing that to these guys in Baby, imagine in the same breath comparing like Chris Chan to Freddie Mercury. I mean, what are we talking about? What on earth are we? We're having two different conversations here, man. We're having two, and you're actually being way more patronizing than me. You just don't know it. You just don't know it. You have no idea.
I look it up, and I found out the lead singer, Freddie Mercury, is gay and died from AIDS. My initial reaction was I was disgusted. And I kind of work, over it. And that's actually the first step for me to not be homophobic to the LGBTQ. Exposure may be the first step of acceptance or at least understanding. Like you can see Goldfield as
to be like, well, I like Freddie Mercury, so why don't I like pedophiles? Wait a second. Why don't I like Freddie? I love like Bohemian Rhapsody. That song kicks ass. Yeah, I guess I do like Bohemian Rhapsody. So I guess that means I like pedophile furries too? Wow. I never thought about it like that, Chinese lady.
Conservative town, they're okay with the baby furs. I don't know if they're invited to the cookout.
But here's the thing is like the baby furs.
Ooh, and she's adopting a little bit of the Ave. The African-American vernacular English, a little bit of Ebonics there, inviting them to the cookout. See how these traditional, overeducated, like first-generation immigrant, like libs, you see how they do? They run the world now. They run the world. This is one of the reasons Western civilization is in free fall right now. Of course, it's mostly the war hawks and everything else. It's the endless wars and the Satanism and the kid fucking and stuff, but it's also these people are a tool for the instruments of evil. That's all. That's all I'm saying here. That's all I'm saying here.
Invited to the cookout.
But here's the thing.
And they both laughed because they know that's what black people say to each other when they're living their life and having a party. That's the way the blacks say it. So that's a big ha-ha from you and from me, the overeducated
libs. Like the baby furs came in, they employed people in the town. The baby furs have only done good in Goldfield. And anything that I'm feeling is internal stuff that I'm projecting onto them because they're, like they said, they're kind of living their best lives and doing their thing. And if they're doing it
they're not only not living their best lives, they're not even living. They're not. If that's living, then we should all just be. We should be done with civilization. We should be absolutely done.
Away from everybody as much as they can.
We should all walk away from electricity and plumbing and water, and let's just rebuild, man. Let's rebuild. Let's burn every building to the ground. Let's do away with everything. Let's wipe away all the money. Let's blow up the internet. Let's burn everything to the ground, and let's start from the ashes. Let's start over. If that's living. Not only is that living, but that's living your best life. We got to start over.
Best place on earth for them to be.
We got to start over.
By God, I guess they can go do that.
And I know this is a narrative that can make you like pat yourself on the back and make you feel good. But if this was 95% of the world, if this was all of a sudden a big majority of people and this was catching on and there were universities that were, you know, furry, pedophile, weird, if this was catching on in a big, big way, you would start pushing back. But you get to pretend you're speaking for some sort of minority as if this is the Underground Railroad for you. And it's, don't insert me into your liberal fantasy. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Don't involve me in your fantasy. Fuck off. I don't care how many books you've read. I don't care what you think you understand about history. I don't care what you think is being like a nice and good person. I don't care what you think is being a humanitarian. Your definition of being a humanitarian to me is being a Satanist. Get the fuck away from me. It's disgusting, man. I'm so sick of hearing it's not hurting anybody. How much longer do we keep saying that? We all have to, you know what a disservice it is to you to not use your eyes or your ears or your brain? You are given these senses to make judgments and to think. And for you to turn all those off and say that's the part of your brain that's forming thoughts and opinions on things your eyes are seeing and your ears are hearing. Okay, am I not supposed to do that? I know that's your initial reaction to. Okay. Wait, what? Am I not am I not supposed to think thoughts anymore? Oh, I'm sorry. Am I not supposed to feel things anymore? Should I turn off all those faculties within myself? Should we turn the lights off? Should we all go home? Should we cut the power? Are we done here? Are we done feeling feelings and thinking thoughts? Okay. I guess you went to university to learn how to turn that old brain of yours off, huh? All right. All right. Sounds good, man. Sounds good. Big thumbs up, buddy. Big thumbs up.
Who the fuck am I to come in to their place and say, well, I feel uncomfortable about this? It's like, motherfucker, I drove 2.5 hours to get there. What do you mean you feel uncomfortable?
Oh, this is utterly disgusting. Let me get another angle.
Like you said, acceptance comes from exposure.
And maybe being uncomfortable is a necessary step of that exposure. Conservative people who are uncomfortable about Asians,
Right.
Black people, gay people, whatever. They feel uncomfortable, but don't stop there. It's
right.
what
They
I'm
have
saying.
to work through that.
Yeah,
though.
don't stop there. Right?
Right? Like that's the thing is you love Freddie Mercury. You think he's this incredible artist. He's humanized to you.
I accept that being gay is just one of the many things that he is. He's so much more than that. And why do I have to fix it on that instead of looking at...
Okay, look, we could have a different conversation right now if David Bowie were still alive and lived in Babytown. Then, hey, man, let's have the conversation. I'm down. I'm down. Totally. You got to list some occupations that these... If some of these guys are, just show me one guy that could play in the symphony or just something. Show me something, man. Stop with this Freddie Mercury angle. I mean, leave the man alone. He's dead. He can't speak up for himself. Freddie Mercury would, if he was in Babytown, he would call them faggots. He would go, fuck all of you. He would be the most homophobic person you've ever seen. If Freddie Mercury walked into Babytown, he would say, fuck you fags, and he would get into his car with his middle finger out the window, and he'd drive away so fast. Get Freddie Mercury's name out of your fucking mouth.
Maybe this video can be the first step in a lot of people becoming accepting of baby furries.
Right. With that being said, next time when I see you, are you going to show up with a diaper?
Freddie Mercury would write a song called The Biggest Fucking Gay Wads I've Ever Seen in My Life. Freddie Mercury would write an album called Fuck Gay People. If he had to live in Babytown and saw all this.
No.
And from what I've heard, Freddie Mercury was a pedophile, but that's unrelated. And he still would be disgusted by them. Disgusting. Can't believe we made it to the end of that. I was way too hateful in that. Way too hateful. I feel horrible now. Horrible. God, I spoke so much bile and so much hate. All in jest, of course.